damage and survivability, that is what you need if you want to run legendary, master, or even heroic in the Division 2. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's talk about it, and let me show you this build that I have got on right now. So first of all, one thing is for sure, no build is God mode. No build is going to make you absolutely invincible. Yes, okay, you can run with certain setups that will make you survive a lot, but this was a random pickup group that I was in. Everyone was kind of DPS. One person was a skill build. And as you can see, I think in a minute I do go down. But it's always going to happen, right? That is how builds work. Unless you got some kind of designated healer or something like that. But as long as you've got a revive hive, as long as you've got teammates, you are going to survive. But there are builds that you can put together to kind of mitigate these risks to help your chance of survival, and this is one of them. Big shout out to Dispatch, who put this comment on one of my previous videos where we were talking about all blue builds and ease of running, basically making it a couch game where you can chill out. You run so much blue in your build that, you know, you're never going to die when you're running on heroic or anything like that. And this is an example of a build where you can sacrifice blue, but the talents and skills and things like that make up for all of the damage. I'm not sure if I've said like, share, comment and subscribe, but if I've not, let's do that anyway. And let's get straight into the build itself. All right, so as you saw from the footage, it was doing around 1.1 million at max stacks to armored enemies, and to health enemies you would get 1.4 to 1.5 million. So definitely no slouch when it comes to damage, that's for sure. But it does really require you to run in a group. This set does not really play nice when it comes to solo play. Now, there is something that you can do. You can take your stat broker if you want to, and your LMG. You can head into the range, you can stack it up to the max and go and play your mission solo, and you'll probably do just fine. The stacks decay that slow that you'll be okay with damage and you'll get through it, and there's not really any content in the game where you're going to suffer when it comes to that. You could be a little bit more cheesier if you really wanted to put something on like the Bullet King, something like the blue screen with a huge mag, making your sustain even bigger, meaning that you'll probably stack up this thing just a little bit quicker as well. But I digress. This is the setup that I like to run when I'm in a group, and the reason I have gone for the Iron Lung simply is because the CC that it provides is pretty invaluable when it comes to running legendary content, and enemies seemingly liking to go into cover or all of the time and being suppressed. It's a really annoying mechanic, but this gun is really accurate. You can kind of catch their hand with the end of the mag, set them on fire, forcing them to come out of cover, meaning you and your team can just kill them much easier. So let's take a look at the gun. I roll it with crit chance because crit chance is always active. Yes, you could roll damage to armor and potentially do more damage. You could run damage to health and do more damage in certain scenarios, but crit chance just works all the time and is good for me in an all-round scenario. Then we've got the talent itself. Shooting heats up the weapon, filling up the heat meter. The meter is equivalent to 50% of the weapon's standard magazine size, meaning if you do any kind of trickery to extend the mag, that's not going to take effect. When the meter is full, rounds shot by the weapon ignite enemies. When not shooting, the meter depletes over time. Reloading or swapping the weapon fully depletes the meter. So as you can see, you just shoot, enemies will catch on fire, forcing them out of cover. Really nice for a group-based scenario, and I think it plays out really well. You can run the stat broker with crit chance mods on if you wanted to, and then obviously the quick step as well. Just a little bit of a heads up from the footage that you did see. When I recorded this video, the Vanguard Overdrive event was on, so you can see here that the reload speed and the movement speed and the armor on kill that I was getting is definitely buffed in comparison to what you would normally get, but it doesn't have an effect obviously on the damage that you were seeing. This build is still going to be extremely versatile when that event finishes tomorrow. So, first of all, we're going to go with the equalizer, rate of fire, perfect obliterate. Mine is rolled to blue. This is a very blue heavy build, but you could go double red and 4 blues as well, as this piece is not the easiest to get, not terrible, because you just need to get a piece with crit chance, crit damage, and it often rolls reds more than any other because of the core attribute being red. They're slightly weighted to the core attribute, so farming this isn't a massive pain, but I would recommend farming 1 because it just gives you the option then to have whatever core attribute that you need for your build. But it comes with perfect obliterate, which is an increase in weapon damage, and that is exactly what we are doing with this build. We're going to buff our weapon damage because we've gone blue in so many other places. So essentially we've lost 75% weapon damage because we've rolled in armor cores. As you can see here, normally with the core attribute you get 15%, but in 5 of the slots we have rolled in armor cores, losing 75% weapon damage. So what we've done to replace that, obviously we are going to run obliterate for the weapon damage we've just talked about, but if we run CoCo or concentrated company, whatever it is you like to call it, the 2-piece bonus, we get 10% weapon damage, 30% weapon handling, which is really, really nice when we're outside of the event that we've got ongoing right now. And then we've got the talent. Now, just be aware, on the backpack, you increase the weapon damage bonus per stack from 3 to 5%. So we'll read that in appropriately. So shooting an enemy marks them for 7 seconds. When an enemy dies, receive 1 stack of 5% weapon damage and 2% critical hit damage for each ally or skill that has contributed to killing that enemy, including myself. Your stacks, max stacks are 35. So 35 times 5 is 175, I believe, times 5. 175, that is correct. Meaning we are more than making up for the loss in weapon damage when we're in a group scenario by turning these to blue, increasing our survivability, meaning we are just not going to be on the floor as much when we're playing in dangerous missions. And this is kind of a great build when it comes to group play. I definitely wouldn't recommend running 2 unit alloys because we don't need the assault rifle damage because we are running the iron lung, but you could run the blue screen with this, you could run the bullet king, you could run the pestilence. You get a lot of options when it comes to LMGs. Now, I do like to run the overdogs because without even thinking about it, they're generally up. You generally have the 30% extra amped damage, like 60 to 70% of the time without even really trying. But if you wanted to kind of come away from that mechanic and you didn't want to run it, a perfect piece would be the contractor's gloves, which will give you 10% LMG damage to armor as well. Just roll in whichever pieces you want, and perhaps you could roll in a blue there as well if you wanted to go 6 blue and go really, really tanky. But I don't really feel that anything more than 5 blues, 5 blues is really, really necessary. Definitely run with the gunner spec. It just aids in everything, rate of fire, armor on kill, and everything like that. And then you can kind of choose what you want to run here. Decoy, turret, you could run the drone, anything you want skill wise. But obviously if you're going to run harder content, I think it just pays to have a revived hive in your backpack just in case you need it. If we're looking at the stats, you can see we're at 59.5 crit chance, 137% critical hit damage. And don't forget, we're going to get an absolute ton here as well. So we're going to get a further 70% crit damage from the backpack talent as well. We're not only getting weapon damage, we are getting backpack critical hit damage from the backpack as well. Yes, I was talking about how good my backpack looks. But moving on from that, that is really going to be it for the video. Big shout out to Dispatch for commenting that and prompting me really to make this video. Make sure you check them out. But yeah, really, really good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you make builds for group content? Because that's really what this is. I really wouldn't play this solo. Is it worth taking up one of my slots with this for a group? Or would I just keep my all blue strikers? I know, we've got tipping scales. We are pretty spoilt when it comes to LMG sets and varieties when we play this game. I think it's probably got the most versatility for any other gun, because I've just named you 3 sets right off the rip, and that's not even talking about the high-end set, which I can probably show you very quickly Where is it? I've definitely got it saved. LMG, like a high-end build as well, which then you have the option to run Tinkerer and things like that as well. You don't have to, you can do, and you can do an insane amount of burst damage. I published that video a while back, and I'll bob it down below in the description if you want to check it out. So yeah, absolutely huge amount of options when it comes to LMGs. Let me know what you're running though. Are you running CoCo? Are you not? But with all that said, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, agents. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you later.